Hello my students and friends, myself Professor Dhanashree Pachade and I am working as head of the Department of Microbiology at SM Joshi College, Hadapsar, Pune. So today we are going to study one of the main technique of sterilization, that is filtration. So we are going to study what is mean by sterilization, then what is mean by sterilization by filtration, and what are the different types of filtration technique. So we will focus on actually what is mean by sterilization. So sterilization is a physical or chemical process that completely destroys or removes all microbial life including spores. So as we know, organisms are present everywhere, means what organisms are ubiquitous in nature. So why they are called as ubiquitous in nature? Because organisms are present everywhere in the environment including water, soil and air. So to remove this organism or to remove the contamination causing or infection causing organism, most of the main technique, that is sterilization process, is used. Now again, by different way, how can we define sterilization? So sterilization is complete killing or removal of all living organisms including spores from a particular location or material. Now what are spores? So spores are resistant bodies and which cannot be get killed by different techniques, but one of the main technique, that is sterilization, is responsible to kill these spores along with other microorganisms. Then next, why we need sterilization? So why there is need of sterilization? So microorganisms capable of causing infection are constantly present in the external environment and on the human body. So as I said that organisms are ubiquitous in nature, they are also present in the environment, and due to their presence in environment, that is air, water, soil, they again lodge on our human body. Then next, microorganisms are responsible for contamination and infection. As they are present in the environment, they may cause contamination to different substances as well as they may cause infection to the human body. Then the aim of sterilization is to remove or destroy them from materials or from substances. So these three main points which we have to remember, because why there is need of sterilization. Then next, how can microorganisms be killed? Now when we carry out sterilization process to remove microorganism or to kill microorganism from particular substance or from particular material or from particular environment, they carry out different mechanism to kill that organism. So what are those different mechanisms? First one is the denaturation of proteins. So as we know, most of the organisms contain major part of their cell as a protein. So when we use wet heat or moist heat or ethylene oxide, which is again a chemical which is used to carry out sterilization, then it causes the denaturation of protein. Then next mechanism is oxidation. So when we use dry heat or hydrogen peroxide as a sterilizing agent, they cause oxidation mechanism, and due to the oxidation process, organism get killed and cannot survive in the environment. Then next one is the filtration, interruption of DNA synthesis or repair. So as we know, DNA is main part of organism to survive, right? So when we use radiation is one of the main technique, or it is one of the physical technique which is used for the sterilization. It causes interruption in the DNA synthesis. So due to the interruption in DNA synthesis, organism cannot replicate, and due to that organism get killed. Then next one is the interference with protein synthesis. Now say for example bleach, when we use bleach as a sterilizing agent, or it is one of the chemical sterilizing agent, it causes interference or interruption in the protein synthesis. So due to this mechanism, when we use bleach, proteins are not synthesized as it causes interference with the protein synthesis, and due to the lack of proteins, organism cannot survive or an organism cannot build their main cell organelles. Right. Then next and last one is the disruption of cell membrane. Now when we use, say for example, phenols, which is again a chemical sterilizing agent, it causes disruption in cell membrane, and due to the disruption or degradation of cell membrane, organism cannot survive as it is without cell membrane. So there is no protection to the cell organelles or vital components of the cell. So all these mechanisms by which organism get killed when we use sterilization process. Now next, classification. So there are two type of classes for the sterilization, that is physical and chemical. So physical sterilization includes heat, radiation and filtration. Now filtration we are going to study in detail, and next one is the chemical sterilization, which includes different chemicals like alcohol, aldehyde, phenol, oxidizing agent, quaternary ammonium compounds, ethylene oxide gas and others. So all these chemicals are used for the sterilization purpose, and they carry out the mechanism which we discussed recently to kill the microorganism or to remove microorganism from particular substance or from particular material. Now next, different methods of sterilization, out of which we are going to study filtration. So filtration may be done under either positive or negative pressure. Best known example is the membrane filter made from cellulose acetate. So it generally removes most bacteria, but viruses and some small bacteria, for example chlamydia and mycoplasmas, may pass through. So when we use filtration technique, there are some viruses and there are some bacteria which are very small in size, can pass through the membrane. So thus filtration does not technically sterilize items, but it is adequate for circumstances under which it is used. Now what is main use of this technique? That is why filtration technique is used. So basically it is used for the heat labile substances, for example sera, antibiotics, etc. Now what are heat labile? Means what? These are substances which are sensitive to heat. If we use different method other than filtration, for example radiation, heat treatment, then what happens? It causes changes into the structure of that particular proteins, and due to which those become non-functional. That's why we use filtration for heat labile substances. Now one main important thing is the recommended size filter that will exclude the smallest bacterial cell is 0.22 micron. Okay, so basically filtration technique works under the pore size. So if we select proper pore size, then we get contaminant free filtrate. So standard size is 0.22 micron. Now what are the uses of filtration? So it is useful for substances which get damaged by heat. Then next, it is used to sterilize sera, sugars and antibiotic solutions. Then next, it is used to obtain bacteria-free filtrates of clinical samples, and one of the main important function or one of the main advantage of this technique is purification of water. Then next, filtration sterilization process. So this method is commonly used for sensitive pharmaceutical and protein solutions in biological research. Now as we know, in pharmaceutical units or in pharmaceutical industries, there is production of different antibiotics, there is production of different protein solutions, and to make them sterilize or to make them contaminant free, filtration process is used. A filter with pore size 0.22 micrometer will effectively remove bacteria. Now again, if viruses must also be removed, a much smaller pore size around 20 nanometer is needed. So as I said, when we use 0.22 micrometer size for the filter, it cannot remove viruses or some bacteria which are very much smaller in size. So if we want to remove viruses, then we have to reduce the pore size of the filter. So basically for viruses 20 nanometer size is used. Then again, prions are not removed by the filtration process. The filtration equipment and the filters themselves may be purchased as pre-sterilized disposable units in sealed packaging, or must be sterilized by the user, generally by autoclaving at a temperature that does not damage the fragile filter membranes. So these are some precautions which we have to take before use. Then it is used to ensure sterility. The filtration system must be tested to ensure that the membranes have not been punctured prior to or during use. So we have to take care about whether the filter is proper, or we have to check whether that filter is punctured or not prior to use. Then again, to ensure the best results, filtration is performed in a room with highly filtered air, that is HEPA filtration, or in a laminar flow cabinet or flow box, a device which produces a laminar stream of HEPA filtered air. Now in pharmaceutical units, they have to use HEPA filters to make air sterile. So HEPA filters plays a very important role in removing bacterial cells as well as viruses, so that they get completely filtered air, and which avoids contamination to the particular unit. So HEPA filters are critical in the prevention of the spread of airborne bacterial and viral organisms and therefore infections. So typically medical use HEPA filtration systems also incorporate high energy ultraviolet light units to kill off the live bacteria and viruses trapped by the filtration media. So when we use HEPA filters in the laminar airflow unit, there is also provision of the ultraviolet light. So what happens when that bacterial cells or virus cells get trapped into the through the filtration technique, those again killed by the high energy ultraviolet lights, and that's why we get contaminant free area. Now next is, there are several types of filters. So first one is the candle filter. So you can see these are candle filters which are used for the filtration of water mainly. Then next one is the asbestos disc filter. These are used for the liquid part or protein solution filtration. Then next one is the sintered glass filters. Now here you can observe there are two chambers, that is upper chamber and lower chamber, or you can say upper container or lower container, and in between these two containers there is filtration assembly, or there is presence of filter. Now when you add non-filtered medium to the upper part, that goes slowly down through this membrane and you will get completely organism free filtrate over here, and these two chambers are connected by the holding clamp. So this is holding clamp which hold the whole assembly. Now next one is the membrane filter. So membrane filters are usually used in the routine laboratory use. Then next one is the air filter, which we have discussed earlier, and last one is the syringe filters. Now this is diagrammatic representation of filtration technique, how actually filtration occurs. So when we use such kind of assembly for the filtration, so first we have to add a non-sterile medium to the upper part or upper funnel. Now that non-sterile medium goes down through the assembly, that is filtration assembly, which is present over here, and this one is the holding clamp. Now what happens when we add a non-sterile medium to the funnel? It goes down to the membrane filter. Now membrane filter is with specific pore size which removes bacteria which we don't want in our final product. Now there is glass platform. So what is the function of glass platform? It gives support to the membrane filter, and this is also base and rubber stopper which makes this assembly firm. Now when that non-sterile medium slowly goes down through the membrane filter, here we can get sterile medium which is totally free of organism. Now next, there is one of the aperture which is connected to the vacuum. So it creates vacuum or it generates pressure, and due to that pressure that medium slowly moves from upper funnel towards the lower container. Thank you.